We are back. What episode is this, Ryan? Do you know?
This would be episode 6 or 7. Is it 7?
7.
I thought Zach was 5.
Zach was 5, and he already wrote off her son.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. Oh,
That's
boy.
awful on me.
He's
Cut that out.
Come for you.
Cut that out for sure.
He's gonna come for you.
Well, we'll see. I mean, you saw those
You know
army
what it was?
pictures.
You know what it was?
from-
I saw you weren't here, and you threw me off.
Very
Threw me
true.
off.
Very
That's
true.
what. So he was just counting episodes with you in them.
Yeah, I was.
That's excusable almost.
I appreciate that.
That
Ryan.
still needs to be cut out.
It's very sweet.
So we're glad you are back with us for episode number 7.
Number 7.
And we need you to go to the GPS to God YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the red subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, thank you. We appreciate you, but we need more help. We need more people. We need to grow this fan base even
Click,
more.
click, click.
We need to get to, what's the magic number?
100.
100. Once we get that, we get our own specific YouTube address. And also, once we get to 100, we're going to pick out those 5 winners to receive a gift card. And the grand prize winner can be on the podcast right here in the guest seat, the hot seat.
Yep. Keeping it warm over here.
Make sure you leave a comment on one of the videos, and we'll pick from the winners that subscribe and comment. And if you want to receive notifications, make sure that you hit that notification bell. We're on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave us a good rating, and that'll help us with our visibility, and make it easier for you, friends, family, and all those kind of things, all those other people to find us. And we're on Spotify. You can get in touch with us by email at podcast@parkwaybc.net. podcast@parkwaybc.net. And new episodes come out every single Monday. Monday. That's all the announcements for the day, boys. Unless y'all got another one.
Nope. Glad I'm here.
Yeah.
Glad I get to see y'all.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here. Welcome back, Stefano. He was out
Thank you.
last week.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we had a fill-in who did fine, by the way,
Yeah.
but just not the same.
It wasn't.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Brandon Shanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Brandon. But today we have another new guest.
Mm-hmm.
Guest, family. He's like family, really.
I would say
I'd
so.
say Russell's like family. We have
yeah.
Mr. Russell Monday.
Yeah.
Monday, new
Monday.
episodes every...
Monday.
One syllable.
Yeah, well,
Just put my name right here, Russell. When you type it in,
Oh, it will
right
be.
here under my finger.
under your... We got
Got it right. Just Russell right here.
Right there.
All right.
You can tell he's been watching. He knows
I
all
watch-
names.
I watch a ton of YouTube, and I've watched all of y'all's podcasts, and I have some questions.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I want a little inside baseball tonight. You know, me and Amanda,
Amanda's his
Monday.
wife, by the way.
Amanda, my wife, 4 children. Yeah.
I'm tired just
Yeah.
hearing that.
Yeah. We watch these podcasts. We watch them hard. Okay. So we have a list of questions, and I'm going to start off.
I'm getting my pen out like I'm
Yeah.
writing them down, but I don't have to write them down.
Yeah, because you're going to
tell
know
us.
the answers.
You're gonna tell
Because
us.
they're probably yours. And okay, the GPS to God directional. You know, the logo. I will call
The
it.
logo, yes.
Yes, I want to know. We want to know who made that.
Okay.
Whose idea was that? And we want to know where it is at in that logo.
Okay. So, first, let's answer your question with a question. Do you all like that logo?
We
that
love
sign?
it. We love it.
Okay, then I made
Nice.
Yes.
Well, you blame it on me. You don't like it? Ryan did it. Ryan did it.
it. So I made it. We talked about it. It's a group decision here. It's no dictatorship or anything like that. It's a
I'm sure Fauna was like, "Oh yeah, I love it, man. Yeah,
This
that's
is,
cool. Perfect."
Dang is a professional. I mean, let's just put that out there. He's a professional, and he's done a great job.
He's a YouTuber.
He knows.
I mean,
he knows.
all of us
he
are.
knows what the people love.
So we discussed it in our little 3-person democracy, and I had a little sketch on not a napkin, but a little sheet of paper, and they signed off on it. So then I built
That's where
it.
it normally always starts.
I
Someone got a napkin and
yeah.
a pen.
Built it, and the picture was taken in Pleasant Green Park or Pleasant Green Pool,
Yeah.
Pleasant Green
Okay.
Park, whatever that area is.
We've tried to figure out where it's at. We did not know.
So
Yes.
that's the one that made the cut. I took probably 4 or 5 different pictures with that in different places in that
angles.
area, different angles. And the boys voted, and that the one you see as the logo is the one they picked. So
Nice.
And that sign is actually downstairs in my office right now. You can take your picture with it if you want.
I might have to do that. If I had a cell phone I could take pictures with, I would probably do that.
We do you have a flip phone?
What kind of
Yes.
dinosaur you got over there?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
he does.
We will take
Yes.
your picture. We got you covered on
All
that.
right, all right.
So, but you can, we'll take your picture. We'll post that up for you.
And church is getting all about these QR codes. You're just struggling over there with these QR codes, huh?
I can't do a QR code. There's impossible. Totally lost on those.
I mean, this might come up later, but I think Russell's probably, 85-year-old man and a
He's an old
40-year-old
soul.
body.
He's an old soul. He is.
Some things, yes. Some things I do not like to change. I do not want one of those iPhones.
I
I
don't
will
either.
not get one.
I don't have an iPhone.
Will not get one. Will not get a smartphone. No.
Didn't you break an old flip phone, and this is actually a new?
Oh, there's been
Flip phone.
several. I've had several flip phones,
Okay.
Stefano.
So you've had a chance to upgrade it, but you've gone back to the flip phone.
I think I might pay more to have a flip phone than an iPhone.
I will say, size-wise, I love a flip phone. I mean, it goes right in the pocket. You don't have to worry about it. These are, you have to plan for where you're going to put your phone.
Yeah.
But
You charge it up, it'll last for 5 days on one charge. I've dropped it in a gallon of paint. Dropped it completely all the way submerged. Took it out, wiped it off, and little by little it came back to life. It's still going.
he can play Snake on it today.
I didn't even know like flip phones existed, except for like the Razr, the new Razr that came out.
Got it.
You got one.
Nice.
All right, question 2. This was Amanda's. Amanda, this is tape on this microphone, and I guess it's on there for looks. I don't know, but she was dying to know what that is. I think it's tape. I think it's tape, and it is. It is.
Yep, good old tape.
Ryan, you want to give
Yeah,
an
so-
explanation there?
So these microphones, they pick up noise from all around it, right? So that's to help out cancel out. So like for me and so Daniel and Stefano wouldn't actually, my mic won't pick up on theirs as much. It'll only pick up me. So it's supposed to just noise cancellation a little bit.
So really, it's a budget version of
Oh, yeah.
noise cancellation.
Nice.
So
Nice.
we're very much working on a budget here.
Yes.
I mean, we're all the time looking for sponsors,
I mean, anybody
podcasts.
wants
I
a sponsor,
know.
we
I
need some
know.
money.
We shall go get a sponsor.
Po-
Monday,
podcast
Monday
that-
Builders.
Monday
Y'all-
Builders might could sponsor
Okay.
the water for 1 week.
Hey, we'll put your name on there if
Yeah.
you did that.
Oh, okay. We'll
But,
we'll think about that.
Podcast at parkwaybc.net for those sponsorship inquiries. But it is tape, and
Yeah,
the,
makes perfect sense.
the choice microphones get used for Sunday services and things like that. So we have to deal with the scraps around here for this podcast currently. But
They sound great on here on these headphones. And the headphones, I was wondering about, what are y'all doing? You listening to something else while you're doing this? But it helps you to hear. It's very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Mhm.
All right, I got one more question. This was also Amanda. She's like, what is that tattoo on Ryan's arm? And I was like, I have no idea. And she's like, is that some mountains? And babe, yes, it is. Yes.
I tell you what, you all have some eagle eyes over here
We-
in the Mundy
Yeah.
house.
Like that?
We are
Very much
into
so.
it. We are in. When we get on a podcast, this is the only one that we're on. But when we're on one, we're on it. So that's our questions. I wanted to have some
Appreciate
questions
the
for you.
support.
Yeah, I let Lily freehand that. 5 years old. Pretty good, huh?
I'll say she did great.
I'm just kidding.
Great.
I'm just kidding. No, it is freehand. I had my tattoo artist pretty much went in and just drew it on my arm with a pen, and then tattooed it later.
Bob Ross style.
I like it.
Pretty much. With his happy
It's
trees.
got little trees on the bottom, man.
Happy trees on there.
Very nice.
Very
Well,
nice.
well, we appreciate that you all are fans, and we appreciate the questions.
We're thinking about subscribing.
Well, we
You're
need you
thinking
to
about
subscribe.
We're thinking about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we need.
We've been
I would have figured
We've
you would have
been
already
thinking
made
about
that
it.
decision.
Commitment.
Were you waiting until now? Were you waiting to become a guest before you
Well,
subscribe?
you did have Zach on here before me, and that was tough.
Scheduling issues. Scheduling
Oh.
issues.
That was
That's all.
a tough one. That was
Wow.
because when mine will be live, Zach will have already been on there, and he'll love every second of that being in front of me.
Yeah, well,
That was tough. So that maybe we didn't push the subscribe button because of that.
Gotcha. So we'll have one more after tonight.
Maybe.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
hopefully your mother-in-law too. She did not know about the podcast. I appreciate. I kind of
I wouldn't count on that one.
and overheard you pushing her towards that though, and I appreciate that. We appreciate.
That's going to have help doing that, but she has trouble with those. She'll need help on that subscribe, but once she gets it, she's got it. Once you give her the directions, she'll write it all out. Turn on computer, go to parkwaybc.net.
Well,
it'll all be written out.
Yeah, you straight to GPS to guide now. We'll
have to get those directions to her.
Yeah,
We
we can make that
written
happen.
down. Yes, and she'll do it.
2 more.
Make that happen.
2 more.
That's 2% more you need. 2% to that 100.
On our way to 100.
So Russell, we appreciate you being on here, and we're gonna
pumped.
tell some stories, and we'll appreciate the questions, and it's nice to know that the fans are paying attention. And you probably
There's a
answered,
buzz around church about this.
you probably answered some fans' questions. Someone else was
I think
probably
I have.
thinking that too.
Yeah, leave me a comment down there thanking me for that.
Yes.
Yes, please.
There you go.
Please comment down there.
There's the professional right there.
Yep.
That's hey, next fill-in host right here.
Ooh.
Next fill-in host. So
Sorry, Shanks.
yeah, be,
One and done. You out.
Short-lived, Brandon.
You out.
hey, you perform or you don't. That's what it's about. We were telling Carter, my son, that last weekend at his baseball tournament. Not just him, the whole team. It's it's showtime, boys. No more talking about it. You do it or you don't.
That's right.
Let's go. And they didn't, and we're done.
Well,
Baseball
that
season's
story took a turn.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, we're not. The parents are not. Parents and coaches are not all the way upset that the season's over. We had fun. We did what we could. It's time for us to leave because we were not going any further. Russell, we have kind of a theme here that we kind of take turns getting roasted.
Oh, yeah.
For
Yeah.
different things. So
Yeah, it's easy stuff on her. Be easy.
I will be easy. I'll start this by just going back, and then I thank you for excusing my absence last week.
That's a blow.
But
That's
we,
a blow to hear
we
that,
had-
Vaughn. I can't.
we had
It's gonna be
talked-
hard watching that one.
Well, my nephew is playing in the district championship in Murfreesboro. I had gone the night before at a walk-off grand slam
Mm-hmm.
they had to beat the same team twice. So at that game, I said, because it's his last year at the park, and at that game, I decided if they were going to win, I was going to come back the next night, see if they could win the district championship, move on to the state. So came up a little short. Love you, Reese. Played well.
Was it GSS last week? Is that what
GSS?
it was? GS. It
still
wasn't GPS.
It's still GPS.
It's still
GPS.
You still kept the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we talked a couple of weeks ago about animals that we would fight. I think a couple episodes.
Summertime.
Yes.
Yes.
So
he knows the episode titles.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I love
Absolutely.
this.
Absolutely.
So I guess it was, about a week, maybe about 8 days ago or whatever, because I had this maybe last Monday. So kids were asleep, and I've done this probably 1,000 times. Take out the trash. So had the bag of trash. It's about 10 o'clock, cruising down. Lori was at dinner. She was somewhere. Cruising down. I slowly lift up the trash can, and the largest raccoon that I've ever seen in my life popped out, shot out of the trash can, and scared me to death. I squealed like a girl,
Oh yeah, I'm sure you
and I ran, about 20 yards away.
You got to be careful with that. You might pull a muscle on something like that.
How did he get down in there? How did he get that lid open?
We had it kind of propped up because we had like an old like a Swiffer or something. It was propped
threw
up.
something too big away.
That thing popped out of there and then just jumped like on our deck and ran.
I bet
through
that turned you white as a ghost.
I was yes.
Oh, he hates. He
believe it
hates
or-
animals. He's
believe
scared of
it or
death,
not.
though. He's scared of death, though.
Believe it or not. So yeah, I came face to face with a raccoon. I instantly thought about you guys. I did. It scared me to death. It was so.
Oh,
it was a bad experience. So I don't take out the trash at night anymore.
Well, we've learned that he's only owned one pet in his life, and
Yes.
that was a fish when he was a
Samson
a
the fish.
kid.
Yeah, he doesn't like animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say don't like. I've never had an animal to really like and enjoy. So
So the kids at this moment
my
don't
wife,
want?
Lori, does not like animals.
Yeah, she
So,
hates them.
Okay.
Yes.
There's the answer.
So there. So
There's the answer.
it can always be because mom doesn't want a dog. So keeps me in the clear.
So did you know we got a gift sent to us from a listener?
No.
Was that last week we talked about
I
that when
believe
he
so.
was
Yeah,
on?
we talked about it
Not.
last week. So we got a special little treatment from our guest.
Yeah, we got a package. We
Not
we
our
read an
guest,
email
Okay.
that someone sent us last week.
Wow.
We read that.
Okay.
But also we got a gift.
Okay.
Going back to animals and food,
Okay.
a loyal listener. I don't know that they're as big a fan as Russell as the Mundy household, but
Okay.
We're number one.
they sent us a package of kangaroo burgers and ostrich burgers.
I can't wait to
And,
grill those up.
and if you two didn't have kids' birthday parties and things to do all the time, we would
Busy
make
in the
this
summer.
happen.
Stefano's
Busy
not
in
going to
the
eat
summer.
any of that. I
So-
can tell you that
so-
right
so
now.
that's my question.
No,
we
no.
So we
hide
talked
it.
about-
Here's
No.
a beef burger. Here you go.
Well, we talked about being picky eaters
like
and things like that, and
Yes.
he gave a great answer for
Yes.
why he
Yeah.
chooses to eat
It's-
what he eats.
Made
But it was
sense.
it made great sense. It was kind of tied to money though, and not wanting to pay for something and not liking it,
Indeed.
having to buy something
Uh-huh.
else.
There it is.
Absolutely
That
right.
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely
So
right.
this
Yeah, I
is
like that
free. Will you try it?
Don't disappoint your fans. They did this for you.
But you got to
I
be
don't know.
honest, because we're going to say if you're not honest.
Yeah. I mean,
Whoa.
I guess I
Whoa,
guess
whoa,
I will.
whoa.
I mean, I don't want to be the odd man out.
I mean, it's a bite. You don't have to eat.
I mean,
the
I'll
whole
take a
thing.
bite of it. Sure.
Okay.
I will.
One time we went to Cabuto's and he ordered chicken tenders at Cabuto's. I mean, he's not going to eat a bite of this hamburger. He's not.
I will-
Don't let him.
I will-
Just ignore
I will
this.
take a bite out
But-
of
He
it.
will not.
I
But
will
he
take
had
a
to
bite.
pay.
not.
He had to pay for that.
I had to
so-
pay for that, so this is free, so it's different.
You
Okay.
don't get chicken tenders at Cabuto's.
So, for those that may not know, Kabuto is a hibachi Japanese steakhouse restaurant
yes,
kind of
yes.
place.
That's great.
I mean, I have my own reasoning. I mean, I explain my reasoning. I don't want to pay
Sticking
for
by it.
I'm going to stick to it.
Okay.
I don't want to pay for something and get it and be disappointed and be hungry.
So
Or have to spend more money on another plate.
a loyal fan paid for this food for us to try, and they said they are awaiting our review of said food. So,
Okay.
I'll find out after the podcast, babe. I'll find out who it is. I know you're dying. I know you're dying to know who it is. She's the most curious person in the world.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'll find out. Don't worry.
Well, I also happened to see her on my way up here, and I told her I was disappointed that her mother, your mother-in-law,
Yeah.
did not know about the podcast because your wife Amanda told me earlier today. I think it was. She said we watch it the day they come out. We don't
Absolutely.
wait. We're on there.
Absolutely.
And then her mom had never heard about it, so I
It's unfortunate.
had to tell her about that a little bit. But-
Yes.
So I have a question or a story that I would like you to share that I've heard from
Okay.
other people, but not from the source. So I heard a story that you were pulled over on the interstate and given a ticket for
Yes.
driving too slow.
Yes. Yes, that happened.
Is there a story
True.
behind that?
Oh,
There is one.
there's a story, but it goes back. It goes back years and years for this story. It's going to be a long one, so just buckle up
We
for
got
this.
time.
Buckle up for this story, everybody.
We will edit out any long pauses as needed.
Yes, yes, please. So this story, it goes back to when I was the incident in question happened around 2009. I'm going to say, but the story really goes back to when I was 15 years old. That's when it started. But back then, teenagers like to get their permits, their driver's license. Now they don't care. I don't know why that changed.
True.
That's changed. My nieces and nephews, Some of them 17, 18. Yeah, I guess I'm going to go get my driver's license now. It's not a big deal. It was a huge deal then. And so the day I was 15, when I got my permit, drove it back home. 15. Greg Lott, another one of my friends, he was dying to get his permit. So we went the day, spent the night at his house, got up early, went to get the permit. He failed the test. Had the idea, I'll just go to another center and take my permit test again. That's how bad he wanted it. I mean, I'm sure that's illegal to do. Went to the next driving center, same day. May 30th, his birthday. Failed it again. Failed the permit test twice in one day. We wanted our permits. We wanted that.
Right.
So, the whole year I practiced. Good to go. March 30th comes around. Next year I'm 16. Go that day, get my driver's license. Bang. And here I go driving. And for 1 week, I was an absolute maniac driver. For 1 week. Until on a Sunday, I was taking Greg home. And it rained a little bit. We hit some water. I hydroplaned. I was doing the steering wheel. Nothing was happening. Tree coming. We ran right into that tree. I mean, just dead on. Drove home. The steering wheel was like, you had to hold it sideways to go straight. I was like, I don't think it's that bad, Dad. And he's like, the steering wheel is upside down. It's terrible. You've destroyed this car. So he gets the car fixed, but he always left the front of it white. He would never paint that, just to remind me of what I had done. And so after that day, when I almost killed Greg, almost killed myself, I have been just a very cautious driver. Not a great driver, probably a poor driver. Always, never above the speed limit, always under the speed limit, okay? So that gives you some background of why this happened, this incident happened. And also with this story, I'm also a person who is, I wouldn't say cheap, but I like a deal. I'm thrifty. I'm not going to pay somebody to deliver furniture to my house. I have a truck. I can easily go pick it up. Why would I pay somebody to deliver this when I can go get it? So Amanda got a new chair, a recliner, and it had to be picked up. It was downtown. And back then, we would always go to the Vanderbilt football games. That was a big thing that we would do. We had season tickets. We had no children. And
the glory days.
Yeah, it was
Back in the
fun.
day. Back in the day.
It was a fun time. It was a different time. It's hard to remember those times sometimes. Yeah. And so I arranged that I would leave work. I'd pick the chair up. I'd go to Amanda's office, which was right across the street from the Vanderbilt game. And we would go to the game. It was on a Thursday night, and everything would be great. And so, first bad thing, it started to rain a little bit. So I had to take the chair apart, put it inside the cab. Not a big deal, but we did it. Made it work. Went, playing South Carolina. I just knew we were going to win this game. Get beat right at the end, as usual. Not feeling too great about that. Walk back, driving back home. Walk back to the truck, walk back to Amanda's car. We're driving back. Amanda's following me. We're on the interstate. I'm not in a great mood. Really, back then, I didn't have a whole lot. Really just wanted Vanderbilt to win some games, kind of frustrated. I think it might have been the first game of the year. You get that, get off to a good start, then you just know it's going to be another terrible year.
Who's the coach then?
Coach Bobby Johnson.
Okay. Oh, that's a while back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Coach Bobby. And so I'm just driving, not paying any attention. Obviously not speeding because I don't speed. Amanda's behind me. We're going up I-65 right before you get to Vietnam's veterans. I don't know, 5, 6 lanes there. For some reason, I'm in the far left. Just tooling right along. Just, 10:30 at night, just not really think. Window down, just cruising. Got the chair in there with me.
Thursday night, enjoying the good fall weather.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just trying to get home. When all of a sudden, I see these blue lights. And I'm like, oh man, who are they getting tonight? It's not like there's a lot of people out on the interstate, Like, oh man, somebody's getting it tonight. Well, that guy, he gets right in between me and Amanda, and I'm like, I think he's wanting me to pull over. And yeah, he stays right behind me. It's a state trooper. He's right behind me. So I have to ease over several lanes of traffic there, and I pull over on the side of the interstate. And as I glance over, I just see Amanda just floating right on by. She's not pulling over. She's just heading right on home. And
Thanks for that, guy.
Yeah. Sorry about
okay.
that. So that guy, he gets out of his car, and he comes up there to me, and he goes, "Do you have any idea how fast you're going?" I said, "I have absolutely no idea how fast I was going." I think he said, "You're going 55 miles an hour." I said, "Okay, what's wrong?" He said, "You're going to cause a huge accident out here." And I was like, "I don't know. I didn't know there was a speed under limit."
Speed under limit.
And then he looks, I've got all this stuff in the truck. I've got tools. I've got everything was raining. It's just piled in there. And he says, "Have you been drinking?" And I'm like, "What?" He said, "What is that?" I said, "That's a Mountain Dew. I haven't been drinking." And so he says, "All right, give me your license and registration." I give him my driver's license. He goes back there. He's back there forever. He comes back, "Now give me your registration." I said, "You want me to take this chair out on the interstate here and somehow dig in that glove compartment and try to find it?" He said, "Oh, it don't matter. Never mind. I just trust you have insurance." And if he didn't give me a ticket, and I had to go to court, so I had to go down to court a few weeks later. It was me and all these people in there, and they said, "Now raise your hand if you're here for speeding." Every single person in that courtroom raised their hand except for me. I wasn't speeding, no. And you can only go up to the judge. You can either say guilty or innocent. If you say guilty, they'll give you traffic school. So I went up there and I had to say guilty. I had to do traffic school for going too slow on the interstate, which was unbelievable. It was a terrible situation all around. But I haven't sped up. I haven't started going faster because of it. No.
He didn't learn his lesson.
I did not learn my lesson. No.
He just doesn't break the speed under limit.
If I ever see that I try to go over that if I know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, the minimum.
Yeah.
Well, that's good stuff. That's a great story. That was much more entertaining than whoever told me that story.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's probably, I don't know who that was. It's probably Brandon Shanks or somebody.
Yeah.
When that story's been passed around, it kind of loses some details.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That right there was way better.
Yeah.
That was way better.
Thanks.
Tody's a great storyteller.
Oh yeah. We're going to come up with another one, but first let's talk a little bit about reaching people and telling stories and making that connection a little bit with Russell of evangelism and a program that we've had here called Go Fish, and Russell has been heavily involved in that. And why don't you just give us an overview kind of what that is, the Go Fish program and classes that we've had here, for those that may not know.
All right. Go Fish is a program that's on Sunday afternoons. It's offered, and we have different semesters for equipping you, and it's offered, and it's on like 5 o'clock. It starts, and it started back. The first it was called Faith, and that was probably 15 years ago. Brother Bobby led that, and that was another course where you would learn just ways to reach people, ways to talk to people about Jesus, and I had never done anything like that before. I had never been a person who would come to church unless it was Sunday morning. That's just how we went to another church, and that was just something that we never did. We went to church on every Sunday morning. We didn't go on Wednesdays. We didn't go on Sunday nights, and so that Faith was the very first time where I got introduced to doing something other than just coming on Sunday morning. And it really touched somewhere inside of me, and so I wanted to keep doing that. I'm a person that I need a set time. I need a structure. I need to know that I'm gonna really focus in on doing this work at this certain time. So that's why I take Go Fish and do that. So Faith, we did that for several years, and then that led into Go Fish, and Miss Beverly came on board with that and has taught that several years, and just Miss Beverly just does an absolutely wonderful job, because it is a lot. It's a ton of work, because in Go Fish, you're here for about an hour, and you watch videos, you talk about your story, you talk about people that's been influential in your life to get you where you're at, and you just kind of get pumped up about, sharing the message. And so you do that, and then you go out on visits, and the visits are already scheduled, and she has to do most of those. And as you probably know, to get one visit, you probably have to make 10 phone calls. So she spends just lots of times getting ready for Go Fish, and she does a great job. And so you'll go out, and you'll actually go out on these visits and talk to people, which is something that I never want to do. It's not, it's never really a time where I'm like, man, I can't wait to go out tonight. There's always that feeling of being nervous. It's like, oh man, I hope these people kind of call and cancel, or I hope something happens, we don't have to go. But every time you go and you get done, you feel so blessed, and you feel so good about what you've done. The devil is always going to say, oh, you don't really have to go today, you really don't have to do those things today. But every time that you do it, you're blessed. And so that's why the Go Fish is so important to me, and it's been just such a big part of my life. And it's nothing that I've done, really nothing that Miss Beverly's done, even though she puts a lot of time in it. It's all been just God's appointments, all things that He wants to have happen, and He gets all the glory, and we just kind of just do what do. And then you'll be so many times you'll think you're going to do one, you think you're going to get here at 4:30, and you think you know what your visit's going to be, and it just changes. Somebody will call and cancel. You'll try to scramble, go somewhere else, and that's where huge blessings have happened. Crazy things have happened during Go Fish that you couldn't even imagine, and it's all been God's plan. So it's an awesome time.
So what is something that you do that helps you get over that fear, or is there something you do, or you just kind of push through and say, I'm going?
Well, I've already decided that I'm going to do it. I've already decided that if Go Fish is offered, I'm going to take it. And lots of times I don't want to, because it's more time. It's not fun. It's hard sometimes, but when I come, I've decided that I'm going to do it. And that's how, you have to be sometimes as a Christian. You have to be like, I said I was going to do that, so I'm going to. It doesn't matter what comes up. It doesn't matter what happens. You're going to do it, and that's just what we have to do sometimes, and it's hard. And you don't want to do it. But you've already made the decision that you're going to do it, and that's how I do it.
And that's kind of the old school values of finishing what you start and things like that. Yeah. I'm sure everyone here tries to impart in their children, and that we were taught by our parents and our families and things like that. But that's it's important in the real world, the regular world, doing that with your job and different things like that. But even more so in spiritual things for God, because that is an eternal impact. Going to work, it's only for a few years of our life. And while it's important and we have to pay the bills, and if you're a bad worker, you're not going to have a job, but spiritual things and making up your mind and having that conviction of, I'm going to do it no matter what. I mean, that's a huge statement for God, that you're saying, I'm going to stand for you and do what you want me to do no matter what. Because like you said, Satan is going to try and distract us, pull us away, make us scared, make us, doubt anything and everything to further God's kingdom. So, all right, Russell. So the next thing, we're come off the heavy stuff here for a second.
Okay.
Go back to the story time with Russell. This.
All right.
I don't even.
We
know
should have like a commercial, like a little intro. Right
that
in the
would be
middle.
a good time for a commercial right there.
Story time.
Story
with
time.
Russell.
Russell.
So this is. I don't know that this is really a story, but see if you remember this or not. So
Okay.
Russell and my wife Christy attended the same college at the same time, and they would ride
we
back
went to
and
high
forth.
school together.
And they went to high school together.
That's how we knew each other.
Okay.
And so they would ride back and forth to Cookeville. Little hour ride, little more. On the week, come home on the weekends, go back to school Sunday nights.
Yeah.
So Russell would get in the car. Christy would drive. He'd get in the car, and as soon as he got in the car, he would change the radio station. Do you remember what you would change the radio station
Oh,
to?
Christy, why are you doing this to me? Let's see. Would it be Mix 92.9?
I'm not sure the station. I just know the radio name, like the show name of the what show you would listen to.
Well, it would be Sunday night. Would it be Delilah?
It would be Delilah.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, so she acted like she liked it. Yes, Delilah is very good on Sunday nights to listen to.
Do you know what that is?
I do know what that
Okay.
is.
Oh, Ryan knows something. All right.
I do know something.
They usually
Thank
try
you.
to get it to know he does not know
Thank you.
anything over there. I like
And
it.
they're normally successful. What are you talking about?
Go home and listen to Delilah, Ryan, and talk about it next week.
I sang the intro a minute ago. I was like, Delilah.
I missed that.
I heard it.
Well, there we go.
Christy was always good to me. I just hated to drive up there. I hated going to college. I hated it. And my parents would take me over to her house, and she would zip me up there.
You hated the driving part or like the class part?
I hated all of it.
Okay.
I hated all of it.
Well,
Yeah, except going to the cafeteria. I hated everything else about going to college.
And Daniel, you said that it would, about an hour drive. That's with Christy.
Yeah, that's a speed limit drive.
Let the
right
record show that if Russell was driving, it would be a good 3.
there. Yeah.
Oh, just two.
He wouldn't be able to come home on the weekends. He just had to stay up
He'd
there.
still be driving.
It would be two. It would be two. I would have my truck completely packed. If it was a week where I drove, I would have my truck completely packed on Thursday night, everything in it. The instant my last class would go, I would walk directly to the truck and go home. And now I see these kids on Zoom and doing all this stuff, and I'm like, man, if I could have only done that, it would have been so sweet. But it's just like people say college was the best time of their life. I just could not stand it. Could not stand it at all.
I didn't like college either. But I only went to Vol State, though. I went local. Couldn't stand it.
It's not my thing.
So, Russell, why don't you tell people a little bit about what you do now for a living?
I do remodeling mostly. Some do construction. I've done that since I was a little boy. I'd go to work with my dad when I was like 5 years old when I started. I'd work every summer with him, and it's just something that I've always enjoyed doing. It's something that I've always kind of wanted to do. I do a lot of bathrooms now, kitchen every once in a while, additions. Just stay busy doing that. So,
let's start with this. How long have you been doing that?
When I got out of college, I got a job for just a little while, and I decided that I hated that too.
What was that, Chad?
That was at Kroger. That was
Okay.
I was in the management trainee for Kroger. Went through all that schooling, and then they had me traveling around to different Krogers, and I said, I'm going to work. I'm ready to go to work, Dad.
I can see where that would be, not the best. You have to kind of be wired for that, I would think.
Yeah.
Dealing with the public and
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff.
I knew it would be a solid job. I knew it would be a steady job. I just, I was just like, man, I'm going to college, and
What were you going to school for?
I was a finance major.
Okay.
Yeah, I graduated, and I was going to do that. And then, it was like the first, had a job interview. They offered me the job. I took it. I said, that's just how you just
Right.
don't really think. You just do it, and I'm like, it'll be all right. And then I just, I hated it, and so went back, started working, and so that was that's been 20 years. I've been doing it for 20 years now. So it's enjoyable. It's fun to do something and to figure out things, and that's the part I like, doing new things that I've never really done before and figuring it out, and it all come together. That's I like doing that.
Have you seen the construction industry change in that time, or is it the same by and large from when you first started?
That's hard. It's been this year has been a crazy year that I've never really experienced. Just to see prices just shoot up, and but still, it just keeps the demand keeps going, and you can't. Some things you can't get. You can't. If you want to have windows, then you need to order them. Used to get them in 2 weeks. Now it's like 15 weeks. Wow. It's just like everything you have to plan ahead. You have to, if you see something, you have to get it. Because sometimes, like, crazy things like drywall mud. They didn't have drywall mud for weeks. And so it's just, it's just in the, everything, always COVID. They just blame, and, you can't get people to people don't want to do small jobs, really. That's a hard thing. They want to do big jobs. And so, it's not a whole lot different than it has been, but it's always hard to get people to do what they say they're going to do. And in my field, if somebody tells me something, I'm automatically thinking that's not going to happen. And if it does happen, I'll be surprised. But I always plan for it not to go as scheduled. And so it can be hard, and. There's not a lot of people that want to get into that hard work every day and being outside every day. And so it's, you just have to just do your best. And, lots of times I have to work by myself. Just, it's hard to find people to help. But it's been good. It's been fun. And, it is changing. It's not how good you can build something. It's how fast. People will say, when can you have this done by? When, everything's about speed. Everything's about, I want this done. I want it done now. And so that's the hard part. But it's overall, it's been really, really, really rewarding. I've really enjoyed it.
So being on different job sites, kind of traveling around project to project a little bit, interacting with different people, whether it be different subcontractors or the owners or whoever. How has the Go Fish kind of helped you and prepared you to be able to share your faith with those people as you go from job site to job site?
Yeah, you have to be ready because you never know when that instant's going to be where a small door opens up. And you have to be prepared. You have to be, and then you have to step through that door. You have to. If somebody says, "What are you doing this weekend?" You have that choice to say, "Well, I'm just going to hang out," or you have that choice to say, "Well, I'm going to go to church this weekend." Try to open that door, and not to say that I always do these things that I'm thought. More times than not, I don't follow through as I should. But when you have those small times where somebody's, where there's an opening, you Go Fish will teach you to, take that opening, try to open that door, try to talk more, try to, invite people, try to do those things. And there's been several instances, and you just always see people, if you mention that you're a Christian, or if you have Christian music playing, they change. They talk differently. They talk to you differently. If somebody's using, and there'll be some people that not using the right language, and then when you don't use that language, they'll change. They're not going to keep doing that. And then the next time I see them, they don't do that. And that's just because they know that you're a Christian, what you stand for. And I have a lot of people like that. I have some best friends that I'll work with different jobs, and they'll come in and they just know where I stand, and they don't use any of that language, and we just get along great together, and it's just little things like that, and that has come from that Go Fish. That has come from just trying to live a life where I don't use that language, where I don't go out drinking, go out doing those things, and they know that, and they respect that, and they like that. I really believe that they do.
Maybe that's where we should go here. Maybe
What
do
kind of
you
stories
have
do you
any
wanna throw
stories
out?
Oh,
about
I've got
Stefano?
several.
He's got
I
a-
was just
he's got a-
thinking
he's got-
about.
He's got a Rolodex of this.
So he did.
Russell and I.
It is a
have been-
Rolodex, it
Russell
is.
and I have been friends.
I can tell you exactly when it started.
I think he was probably 14 or 15 years old. I think so. We're going on probably about close to 30 years that we've been friends.
Do you remember the
Easy.
first time we ever hung out together? I know you do.
Goodness gracious, I don't. I was trying to think of that going into this, but I don't.
This is hot, tough.
I'm
I
sorry.
know.
Yeah, you know, I'm
We're
older.
coming up on our 30-year anniversary.
I'm older than I'm older than you, so my mind's gone.
the
What
first.
What did you give Russell for his anniversary?
What are we gonna get?
What are y'all getting each other?
What is the 30th anniversary? What is
What's the
that?
30th friendship anniversary? Was it leather or what are those? weird-
Some kind of crystal. I don't know.
Cotton.
No, we were on the basketball team at Davidson. He's 2 years older than I, and this was
Yes.
the very start of the season. I was a freshman. He was a junior, and we kind of hit it off, and we decided to make plans to go see a movie that just was one of the best movies. That's totally just I was, as a 14-year-old, I was absolutely blown away by this movie.
What year was this?
This was 1992. I think that's the right. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I've got a guess.
I'm completely,
Oh,
After
what
going to
movie?
movies when I was little, Honey, I Shrunk the
I'm
Kid,
completely lost.
all these different things. We go to this movie, and I was absolutely blown away. Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. That was a great movie. when it came out.
Unbelievable. I was blown away by
that
that
was.
movie. Ryan, have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good.
That
I've
was
seen them all.
uh,
That was
I've seen
the
them
first
all.
time we went to Jurassic Park. We did.
Yes.
he didn't give me
Wow.
a chance to guess, but that is not what I would have guessed.
What were you thinking?
Space Jam.
Space Jam in '92.
I don't know. It was
I don't know.
somewhere
I mean,
around
obviously
there.
in the
I don't know.
'90s, but
It was
I can't believe you
somewhere
don't
around
remember
there.
that, Stefano.
I do not remember that, but
For some reason,
it's
I'm
slowly
thinking
coming
96.
back. Slowly coming back.
Probably
Add some
after
years on you.
92.
I'm thinking '96 for Space Jam.
Yes, our friendship has spanned over a long time. I'm actually a member here of Parkway due to Russell Mundy.
And basketball.
And basketball is a little bit of both. So Russell, obviously, we grew up playing basketball together, and
Both excellent basketball players, by the way.
hardly,
Yeah.
hardly. Thank you.
Stefano is.
no,
His mid-range
hardly,
game was so
hardly.
strong.
So Russell came to me. Ryan, you look like you got some over there.
No, I'm trying to find when Space Jam came out. All I got is November 15th.
I think that was probably about around 96,
That's what I
maybe.
said. I said Space
Or 96 or
Jam.
97, probably.
92 was early.
96.
96. Yeah.
92 was the Dream Team, though.
92 was
Yes.
the
The
dream team.
original Dream,
Yeah.
the
The
only
best,
Dream
the
Team.
best dream team. So Russell said to me, he was like, "Hey," because I was going to church, but I went, but it wasn't, it's where my parents always went, and I just was going to go, but wasn't doing anything extra, going to Sunday nights or anything like that.
No connection.
No connection. So Russell said, "Hey, you want to play basketball for this church league team? It's for Parkway's team where I go to church." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll play."
We played in several leagues, though.
Played in several.
We played
leagues.
in as many leagues as we possibly. We try to have one game every night of the week.
Yes, we did. So I was like, "Sure, I'm in." He was like, "But," he's like, "You got to come to church two Sundays a month. If you don't come those 2 Sundays a month, you can't play." So I guess back then, you had to come to church or be active to play on a church league team.
Well, that rule still applies.
That still
today.
applies.
That
Okay,
does,
okay.
yes.
I didn't know if that went away or not, but yeah,
It's a good rule. Good
It
rule.
is a great rule. So I came, played on Parkway's team, and I started going to church here, and I loved it. So so his talent, and I'm not saying that because he's my friend or church member, but Russell has a gift of inviting people to church, because I've seen him do it at random places, but it's something that's on his heart, and I wish that I took advantage of those opportunities more, because he has a gift of that. If you've ever hung out with him or gone out to eat with him, he's always looking for those opportunities. So,
And it's not an easy thing to do because, like we said earlier, it's easy to get distracted from that, but always being ready and having your mind made up beforehand. Don't wait until you get in the situation
right.
to try and make up your mind. You have to be decided before that to take advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah.
So in honor of your 30-year friendship, I'll go ahead and make the formal announcement now. This has not been announced yet. So breaking news for you guys.
This is big.
Oh,
No one else knows this before right now.
okay.
Once our gym is available again, for those of you that may not know, we are renovating our sanctuary, so we're meeting in the gym. So no basketball or other sports are being played in the gym at the moment. But once the gym is available, we're going to have a basketball league for 40 and over. 40 years of age and over.
Let's get that renovation going. Let's get in there. Let's get
Oh
that. Let's
boy,
get it going.
I'm out.
y'all better have a couple of ambulances.
You better absolutely bring it,
You
Fono.
better put in something for an on-call nurse of some kind. I know we got several in the church.
For
You better have those. You better have those handy.
for people,
Those paddles.
the defibrillator.
You better have everything because there could be a situation involving that. I'm excited for it, but there could be a situation
see,
involved there.
People like
Is it going to be half court?
3/4 of us at
It's
this
gonna be half
table
court.
Ryan can coach us.
who want to play, but don't really want to be out
Coach.
there with the 24-year-old dudes that are still think they're going to the NBA kind of
Yes.
deal.
Yes,
We want to play, have some competition, have fun, but go home and be able to get up for work the next day.
that is.
But
That's
so
exciting news right there.
Yeah.
That makes me smile.
I would take some direction from people who plan to participate, but my original thought was cross court.
Yes.
You can still run,
Oh yeah,
you
that's plenty.
have different goals, but you're going
That's
cross
plenty.
court, and you can do like 4-on-4.
Because that's plenty.
That is plenty.
You know?
Yeah, that's plenty of room.
Yeah, I
Playing
don't
one
know
goal.
that.
Fono's
Fono's
already
thinking
thinking
that.
who he's going to recruit for his team. I can see it over there in his eyes.
It's
Are we
gonna
already
be
seeing
fun.
like captains
Gonna
over
try
here?
to
Like,
just try not to get
Cross
hurt.
me
Try
down.
to
Always
survive in
always
advance.
try to get on Fono's team.
Survive in advance. At this point.
Well, it's probably when you're younger, it's all I want to play. I never want to sit.
Yes.
Once you're
Yes.
on the court, you never want to come up.
Yeah.
I would say some guys would be more willing to sub out on this one. No, man, you go play. I've already played. Like, you go play. I'm going to sit out.
That's fun. That's exciting. That's really good. Good stuff.
But we're going to see the skills of the Mundy and Patterson show
how long has
back
this
in
been?
action.
How long has this been in the works though? Trying to get
I
this
mean,
all-
we're waiting on the gym space.
Yeah.
right, but I didn't know if like this has been like the
mean,
last couple of weeks, or you just thought
No.
Your head.
I mean, I've
Like, you know what? That's
No.
a good
I
opportunity
have
to bring
an,
this
I have
up.
an announcement.
Right.
I've got
Just
like
thought about it. Idea.
5-6 sports
Better,
leagues in my head just waiting to start when we
Gotcha.
have gym space.
I got you.
This is exciting. This
That
is
is exciting.
breaking news.
Great
tonight.
news.
It's so exciting.
That is
One
great.
thing
Please
that
leave
I'm-
comments down below if you want to play. Please comment right down here below.
Yeah, comment and we will send you the information when it is available.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, yeah.
I've only seen Stefano mad one time.
You're
Wow,
going you're to bring this up.
Yeah. This is the Parkway family on here.
When the Eagles lost the Super Bowl to Tom Brady.
That was tough. I mean, that wasn't mad. That was more just depression.
Was that the one that you did not go to?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
That was the one I did not go
making
to.
sure.
Yes.
Well, maybe
Well,
the words
he
not
didn't go to
mad.
either one of them.
Yeah, that's right.
To be honest, I mean,
What's the next step
Sorry,
above
he had an
mad?
opportunity.
What's the next step
Furious?
above mad? Is there one above furious?
wow.
Agitated.
No,
Oh, no,
agitated
he
is
was-
way down the list.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah, that's way down the list.
He was.
Furious is worse than agitated.
What's
is
above
like,
furious? Comment below, please.
Yeah, let us know some good adjectives of being mad.
Can you look it up on your little phone over there, Ron?
Well, we know
That's where
you
we-
can't.
That's all we always.
My
That's
smartphone.
where we
long
always
for
go
him.
to.
For when I'm dumb,
What's
my
it-
phone comes in
Whenever
smart.
you get it, just
888-777-6666.
interrupt this story whenever you get that next whenever you get that next word.
Period. 00 to space.
Hey, but that was great because you could text without looking.
Absolutely.
Once you got good at it, you could text without looking. You knew.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's almost like Morse code these days.
All right, this story. This is the only bad one I'm going to tell on Fano because he is a host. You know, he's getting big time. You know, he's got his own YouTube channel, so I think I need to take him down maybe a few notches over here.
You know what's coming?
Yeah.
Here's some other words for you.
I'm pretty sure.
Any of that work for you?
Pretty sure I know what's coming.
Furious, infuriated, fuming, enraged. Enraged.
I like
yes.
enraged.
Yes, enraged. So this story takes place in Stefano was a senior. I was a sophomore. This happened in 1994.
Yeah.
Somewhere, if not on Valentine's Day,
February of 19.
somewhere very, very close to Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And until it's been this year, Fano, when you finally
Then we reconciled?
when you finally said that you believed me, that I had no part in this story.
Yes.
From all this time, you always said that I had a part in this story, and I always
Yes.
told you that I didn't.
There was a reason why I thought you had part of the story.
And for some reason,
25-year grudge or whatever.
It was.
and for some reason, you picked this year to finally say that, hey, I believe you.
You know, we're all older now. We've been old for a while.
COVID will do that to you.
We've been old for a while. So.
COVID changes people.
2020 was a year
One
of
good thing
reconciliation.
happened from COVID. Fano finally believed me that I had no part in this story. And so we had something that we went to Davidson Academy, a Christian private school, and they had something around Valentine's Day. They would do. They would let the show choir people do singing telegrams, and you could buy singing telegrams, and they would come and they would just interrupt, open the door, and start singing. You know, maybe not the best idea ever to do. And so there was always this rumor that Stefano had this girlfriend, and that, it wasn't true. It was not true at all. But it made Stefano mad when anybody ever said that was his girlfriend. If he'd just let it go, nothing would have happened. He'd always get a rise out of it when they said that was his girlfriend.
I mean,
And-
we're we can all look back on our high school days.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
wish we would have
Yeah.
done things
Yes.
a little different.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll defend you a little bit.
I appreciate it.
Till I hear the rest of the story.
Understand that we were very, very close at this point and stuff. So,
Yes.
I mean, we're
This is 2 years past the Jurassic.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, we weren't in the same class at this time. I believe it was the seventh period. It was the
was.
very end of the day. What
was.
class were you in, Fano?
Miss Gibson's class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You were in
What
history.
subject?
No. It wasn't Miss Gibson's class. It was Miss. Miss Calculus.
Miss
Calculus.
Napier.
Miss
Calculus.
Napier's.
You were in Miss Napier's
Sorry,
class.
sorry.
Okay.
I said Miss Gibson. Miss Napier.
Yes. So I wasn't in there. So this is all secondhand information that I'm going to relay. But this is the only time that he has been just came unglued. They come in and they say that this song is from the lady to Stefano, and they start singing. It was "You're My Sunshine."
No, it was from me to the lady.
Oh, she was in the class with
Correct.
you. Oh, wow.
Oh, this is so.
And what was this? It was not your.
It was "You Are My Sunshine."
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yes. And so Stefano stands up. Had they even started singing, how much time it stood up?
You are my sunshine, my only son. And then I stood up.
He stood up. You walked briskly to the door
Yeah,
and slammed the door shut with two hands. Is that the right?
correct.
That's always the way the story has been told
Correct.
to me.
I saw
There were
you
people
had
out in
those-
the hall.
You had those little windows that you
Yes.
could see. So
You were
Once
trying
they-
to get to the people.
once they came in, I could see kind of
the
heads.
perpetrators were in the hall.
I could see
watching.
the heads watching because they wanted to get the reaction. So, and then they just bolted.
And you went. Did you go? You were trying to go after them.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was.
Yeah.
I
And it was a bad time because we had a game that day too,
We had a game against East Robertson that night.
and he was furious. And the perpetrators, who will it's Greg
Remain
Wilson.
nameless.
Greg Wilson.
Okay.
It was Greg Wilson and his brother Adrian Wilson. I don't know if they'll listen to this podcast, but it was them. It was not me.
If you do listen, Greg and Adrian, we'd love to
Comment below.
hear your comments below. And
Please subscribe first.
So subscribe.
Yes, that would be two more.
If you subscribe, we'll give you a chance to win 5 gift cards or be on the podcast
You get on
and
the podcast and come talk to him face to face.
give your rebuttal.
They
to
did
this
not get to
story.
start. They did not get to. Adrian did not get to start in that game. correct, Fano?
Yes,
There was some punishment dealt out.
I went to the locker room
Yes.
because all these people were on the basketball team. So Russell being one of them. So
Completely innocent.
as I'm approaching the people in the locker room, and as I approach them, I see Russell there. I might have passed by Russell, and Russell is red-faced and laughing.
Because
So-
I'd seen your reaction.
So that was the 20 years of me thinking that he was behind all this, because he's one of my best friends.
It's completely
He's sitting there
innocent.
laughing at
Completely
the
innocent.
at the whole thing. So that's why I thought that he had a hand in it.
It's understandable. Understandable.
Fano played a great game that night. He was enraged. He took it out on the Indians of East Robertson.
Yeah, that was so. Fast forward 20-something years, and I would always say that Russell had a thing, had a hand in it, and it would always make Russell mad.
Yes.
So because he said that if he had a hand in it, he would tell me after 20-something years.
Yes.
I never believed him. Because of COVID, I did.
Because of the Rona.
Thank you, COVID.
I did.
Lives and relationships
Yes.
have been restored.
Yes. So I have to believe him. I have to take him at his word, because he's
Yes.
never lied to me.
He has
So,
forgiven me of that, even though I didn't do anything.
Yes. I figured that he should have stopped it first.
Didn't know anything about it.
I thought that he knew something about it, so I figured he should have stopped it first. Second, he shouldn't have laughed.
I would have tried to stop it, I think.
Well,
I think.
I don't know that I believe that part, but
It's hard to stop the show choir.
Yeah.
They're hard to stop.
runaway train.
Yeah.
speaking of runaway train, I think this train is off the tracks, and there's nothing to do but first apologize to the Indians of East Robertson High School that Stefano demolished
Yes, he
that,
did.
that particular night, and we
It's a
hope
tough
you
night.
have recovered over the last 20-plus years.
tough
But always be prepared to share your story, to share God's story and what He's doing for you, and how you don't know how you may impact someone else's life, and it may be just inviting them to church for a sports league or a show choir performance or whatever may be going on at that particular time, but it could change their life and get them plugged in and involved and bring forth a relationship or strengthen their relationship with God. So how do we wrap it up each week, Russell?
Oh, someone has a Bible verse.
That's right.
I'm on deck. So just looking through, there was a lot of verses about evangelism and spreading the word, and what we're to do as Christians as far as being the hands and feet of God. So I went to Matthew chapter 5, verses 15 and 16. It says, Neither do people light a lamp and put in under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven.
There it is. Can't argue with that.
No, sir.
We appreciate you guys coming on for episode number 7, and we look forward to seeing you next Monday. We'll bring story time with Russell back eventually.
There we go.
I've got several left. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That's a commitment right there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Story time with Russell, our new segment. Thank you for listening to GPS to God. Please leave us a rating on iTunes, and also subscribe on YouTube, and hit the bell if you'd like to receive notifications when new episodes air.